Hello everyone, my name is Shambhavi. Hope you all are doing well. Today in this particular video, I'll be telling you the complete roadmap for a full stack web developer. Okay, so into this particular video, we'll be discussing about that what is full stack web development, what is front end, what is back end, what are the roles and responsibilities of full stack web developer, what are the programming skills needed out, what are the technical skills needed, and what are the most important skills which are needed for being a good full stack web developer. So this is the complete video which is going to be about in today's particular video. Okay, so hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing that what's the video about. So let me start it out from here. First of all, I'll be introducing you to what is front end and back end. Okay, then I'll be moving towards that what is full stack web development. So let's still talk about first of all that what is a front end developer. What is a front end developer? Actually, let's talk about that respectively. So whenever you want to put up some visual components onto a website, okay, whenever you want to put up some visual components onto a website, let's say you want to put up some buttons, you want to put up some navigations, right? So on that particular case, this is what is the work of a front end. Like, okay, let's say you are having up a website, okay, and how does that website looks from the outer, like when you open up a respective website. So how does that website actually looks? You are having some images, you are having some write-up, you are having some buttons onto that, you are having some navigations and all those things you're having, right? Whatever you are able to actually see from your eyes, that is your front end. Like that is the front end of the website which you're able to see, and the things which you're not able to see and that are actually working at the back end. So those are the back end things like the saving up of the data, saving that data onto some databases. All of these things work up as a back end, and the beautiful of that image, the respective website which you're able to see from your eyes, that's our front end part. Okay, so hope I am pretty much clear first of all to you that what is meant out by the front end and by the back end. So who are the front end developers? Front end developers are the ones who are responsible for implementing the visual components onto website. As I told, visual components, right? So those are important for implementing up the visual components onto a website. So here visual components, okay. They as well perform out some important development tasks like putting up the navigations, putting up different buttons, right? Or putting up any sort of thing like that, like putting up some videos, putting up some images, putting up some write-up, all those things, which enhances the website's overall visibility. That's called a front-end developer. Okay, hope I'm clear with this. Now, if I move towards that, what is a back-end developer? So, whatever is working onto the server, okay, like scripting, what will be the architecture of the website, attaching the databases, all those things respectively come under the back-end developer. So the website which you're able to see in front of you, that website is designed by the front-end developer, and the back-end developers maintain up the server development, like server-side development, whatever is there. They maintain. Sometimes you open up any website and let's say in that website is showing that either under construction, or sometimes it shows at the server error, right? That server error, when the backend developers work onto those particular things, into that particular case the server error comes. So working upon to the server and all those particular things come under the backend development. Okay, and the persons who work upon the server side development, those are the backend developers, right? So hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing, that what is meant out by a backend developer, what is meant out by a front end developer. Okay, hope I am pretty much clear with this thing. Now let me take you forward. Now let's discuss about the what is a full stack web development. So Full stack developers. Full stack developers are the persons who are expert in the front end and back end in both of the cases. The person who are expert are known as the full stack developers. Okay, so the full stack of a technology that makes up a website, like whenever you're making up a website, so only the back end is not gonna work or only the front end is not gonna work. The combination of the back end and a front end makes up a complete website. Okay, so full stack developers are the experts in both the front end and the back end part of the websites. Okay, so whatever the languages you are having, whatever the frameworks we are having, proficient in server, network, hosting environments, these all are the skills that are needed for being proficient in full stack web development. Okay, so full stack web developers are proficient in the front end and back end languages, the frameworks, the server, the network, hosting environments, everything. Okay, so here these are all the things that are actually needed up here for in a full stack web development, the combination of a front end and a back end, and the developers who are experts in both front end and front end and back end, those are your full stack web developers. Okay, so first of all, hope I'm pretty much clear that what is front end, what is back end, and what is a full stack web development, right? Now let me move towards the full stack web developer, but not right here. First of all, I'll be telling you about the the programming skills. Okay, so programming skills goes up here: HTML, CSS, SQL, Java, JavaScript, and C. These are a few programming skills that are essentially needed up here for the full stack web developer. Okay, these are some programming skills which are very essentially needed about. So into that only, here if I just talk about the percentage as well, a sort of graph. So these are the web full stack developer skills: HTML, CSS, JavaScript, Stack, Node.js, SQL, and NoSQL. Okay, these are the detailed some skills which are essentially needed. These are the skills. Okay, and here I told you about the programming things. Okay, so but yeah, these are somewhat related in the technical skills. A few more skills have been actually added up here. Nothing too much in that particular case. Right, yeah. Having up a good knowledge of HTML, a good knowledge of CSS, JavaScript. JavaScript is a must thing if you are going into the full stack web development field. So JavaScript is one of the most important thing which you should actually have a knowledge about. Now, if you want to be a full stack developer, then yeah, for sure you have to be actually have a good command over the databases. So into that case, SQL comes onto the root. So the things are like that only. These are a few skills which are there to be developed upon, right? Now, here if I talk about the additional skills instead of the technical skills. Okay, first of all, let me discuss about this full stack developer, this thing. Okay, let's talk about full stack developer. So into that, the front end technology is needed, the back end technology that I did already mention up. These are the very required things. Then VCS stands for version control systems. Okay, that are as well needed about because you are controlling up a website, right? So into this VCS, that is a version control system. You must have the good knowledge of this particular thing as well. API. APIs are the must because maybe you have heard about this particular thing or not, but yeah, whenever you're working with a website, into that the APIs keys are generated, and with the help of that API keys you can actually extract the data, and that respective data you could use further for your whatever the things you are needed about. So into that case, the API is as well one of the very important thing that you should actually have knowledge about. Servers, if there is some working, if there is some issues with the server, then your website will not be opened, right? Because sometimes we are able to see onto the websites it's written about the server error, right? So into that particular case, this is the server which you should have the knowledge of. Now I'll be listing a four skills here that are actually good to know. If you have the knowledge of those respective skills, then you could be a very good full stack web developer. Okay, let's learn about those. So there are four skills which I'll be mentioning. First of all, there's security, like how to secure your website. Second one is the testing. Testing means that testing about the bugs, testing about the website which you are making, all of those particular things. Knowledge of algorithms and data structures. And fourth is your design. These are four good to know skills for a full stack web developer. Not a full stack, but I would say for a very good full stack web developer. Okay, these are the essential skills that I told: front end, back end, VCS, API, and server. These are the like important skills which you should have the knowledge of. But some good to know skills are as well there, which can make you a very good full stack web developer, and those are these which I mentioned up here: security, testing, algorithm and data structure, and that design. Okay, so hope I am pretty much clear with this particular thing to you as well. Now, instead of, okay, now technical skills are not only everything. Sometimes there are some softer skills, some other skills as well, which are needed into the role which you are actually going. So let's discuss about some those skills as well. So in addition to the technical skills which are necessary for the job, there are many more beneficial uh, for you if you are looking for a career as a web developer or in the field of that. Yeah, I'll be mentioning up some skills apart from the technical, which are really very important for you to focus upon, to take care of. Okay, so let me start out. The first one is detail oriented. We know that if you're going to write up a single line of code, so that is as well gonna have up a significant impact onto website's functionality or appearance, right? And web developers need to be sure that they are not missing key details, right? So into that respective case, you have to very much sure that yes, you are not missing the key details. Key details means whatever are the relevant and whatever the important details which are to be mentioned up into your website, those are not missing. Okay, let me give you a quick example here. Let's say you are making up a website and that's related to some education website. Okay, let's say you have launched up some of the courses for you, or there is some respective company which is having some courses launched about, right? Now you have to make up a website regarding that only, and into that you have to put up the idea regarding the course, right? Everything is pretty much done. You wrote about the course, what is it about, for how much time it is gonna be, what will be the amount of the course, everything you wrote out. And let's say at last you forgot to mention up that what's the respective email onto which the persons can reach out to you regarding the clarification of any queries, or let's say you forgot to mention of some FAQs, or let's say you forgot to put up you could say the agenda of your course. So that are the some things which can't be missed because these are the very key details of your website. So detail oriented means that you as well have a idea, you should as well have a good idea that what are the things that are essentially to be mentioned upon to website, and what are the details that you have to mention. Into that case, you have to be sure that you are not missing up any key details while working up onto your website, right? So hope I am pretty much clear with this detail oriented thing. Next goes with the multitasking. Okay. Projects are not always handled one at a time, right? And one client's emergency sometimes can push another project to be backbone. Okay, many times it can happen that you're working upon two projects, and there is an emergency with one client, and you have to very quickly finish up that particular project. But at the same time, you can't put up the second project at the back, right? Because you have to deliver up that project onto the time, that second project as well. And for the first project, there's an emergency for the client, you have to deliver that as well emergently. So into that case, the multitasking is the skill which is actually needed about, right? So into that case, you have to be that much proficient, that much able that you deliver up the projects without missing up the deadlines. So into that case, multitasking is the work which comes up here. This is the most needed skill which comes up here for the full stack web developer. Self-motivated, now that's one of the skills which is for sure needed in each and every field, whatever you are moving about. You take it web developer or any other developer, self-motivated is the thing which is actually essentially needed about. And next, if I move toward the last two, so first one we have problem solving. So yes, websites, what are the functionalities you had put up? What are you asked? Will you put up some attractive functionalities onto websites, right? So into that case, sometimes it happens that the client's needs are not easily completed into that particular case. Okay, you have put up some functional as well as some attractive things onto the website, but many times it happens that clients' need in these regards might not always be easy to meet. So into that case, web developers even have to figure out that how to translate a client's vision to an actual functional website. So into that case, you should have a problem solving approach, this problem solving skill as well for you for a web developer. And good under pressure, you know that there are deadlines which you have to work under. So yeah, you should be actually good in dealing with the pressure and all those particular things. So these were some other skills as well which are actually needed. Technical skills are the must, that's for sure. But other than the technical skills, there are these some skills as well which you actually have to take care of. Okay. So here is a one complete full stack development chart. So if we talk about the front end, so on front end, CSS, JavaScript and SPA. These three languages. If I talk about the back end, so in that case, Python, Node.js, PHP and Go. Backend. Okay. If I talk about the databases, so MySQL, SQLite, Postgres, and MongoDB. If I talk about DevOps, so CI, CD, and AWS. And apart from web, if you are willing for mobile app development as well, but okay, for that I'll be making up a separate video. So let's not cover that up right here. Okay, I'll be making up a separate video for that particular thing. So if we talk about this web developer, so yeah, these four are the needed skills. Let me zoom in. Yeah, it works. So into that case only front end, CSS, JavaScript and SPA, back end, Python, Node.js, PHP and Go, database, MySQL, SQLite, Postgres and MongoDB, right? Please make sure to have a screenshot or okay, we have DevOps as well, so CI, CD and AWS. Make sure to have a screenshot of these respective slides which I have opened up right here, because these are the programming languages which are actually needed into these particular things. I told you that what is a full stack web developer? So the combination, a person, a professional who is expert in backend as well as front end, that person becomes a complete full stack web developer, right? You have to be very much proficient in backend as well as front end. So now into that particular case, what are the languages, what are the programming languages that are needed in the backend and front end? So yeah, these are mentioned up here. Okay, you could take care of. So if I talk about CSS, so into that case HTML as well comes up into the role. So it means front end is HTML, CSS, JavaScript and all those particulars. Backend is completely Python, Node.js, PHP or Go, whatever you prefer like. Okay, but right now Python is as well preferred many a times. For the backend, Python is as well preferred up nowadays. So you could choose any of those. Databases is MySQL is the perfect one, or you could take the MongoDB as well, that as well works. For the DevOps, yeah, for the DevOps, AWS is as well good. You could prefer that as well. So these are some skills which you actually need to have about. The technical skills I did already mentioned about right up here. Programming skills I did have mentioned. What is a full stack web developer and what are the good to know skills in full stack web developer. That I as well told you out here. What is the full stack development? What work actually you do? That I mentioned. And we talked about front end and back end as well. So hope I am pretty much clear to you towards the roadmap for a web developer. What are the essential needed things apart from technical? What are some more skills? What are the good to know skills? What is the front end? What do you have to do in front end? What is the back end? What do you have to do in the back end? And what is a complete full stack web development? Hope I am pretty much clear with all of these respective questions of yours regarding the roadmap to full stack web developer. Further, if you are having any particular questions, you could for sure mention them in the comment box, and I'll be really happy to answer those out. So this is all for this video. Till then, thank you and take care.